Good morning and welcome to Travels with Sheila. Today is September 22nd, the equinox, which means that theoretically, day and night are exactly the same amount of hours. We're just going to walk a little bit around the trails here at the lakes. But I thought I'd fill you in a little moose trivia. All right, I'd like to know, if a goose is a goose and a bunch of them make a geese, then if a moose is a moose, why aren't a whole bunch of moose meese? Makes sense to me. A moose can weigh up to 1,200 pounds. That you could talk about some serious vehicle damage if you hit a moose. And if you do hit a moose, Havila told me that she and her family register for the roadkill program. If somebody hits a moose, rangers instantly call on their experts to come and gut it, cut it up into pieces, and then a person on the game kill list gets the entire moose. Havila said one moose makes like a year's worth of moose sausage. Moose also eat twigs, leaves, bark off trees. They're too big to get down and eat the grass. And that's it about the moose. I'm wearing my Japanese bear bells. Japan does have bear. And look at this gorgeous mushroom. There's one of the many Talkeetna lakes. There's an X, Y, and Z lake, believe it or not. I have no idea which one that is. Talkeetna is located 115 miles north of Anchorage in the Matsu Valley. Gold brought miners to the Susitna River in 1896, and by 1910, Talkeetna was a riverboat steamer station supplying miners and trappers in the nearby mining districts. These humongous leaves are called Devil's Club, and each maple leaf shape can be up to 2 feet wide and have spines on their underside and on the leaf stalk. The flowers give way to bright red berries that are a favorite of black bears. Well, I'm going to stay away from them. Where the bears love those berries. 2 days in a row, lucky. The Susitna River in the foreground, and Denali is sticking its head up. Wave, Steve.
Hey, so how are you?
I think the Talkeetna Lodge serves breakfast and dinner, but it's already closed for the season. The people who live in Alaska have the most fascinating stories. This man here lives in Eagle River. They've got their own ATV, and they come up here looking for wildlife to photograph. They're going hunting with a camera. This is one of the accommodations that I considered staying at. This is another, I would say this is a newer residential area. In fishing season, all 5 species of Alaskan salmon can be caught. So this is the boat launch onto the Talkeetna River. 3 rivers all come together in Talkeetna. Another accommodation that I considered. This place has seen its better day. We walked through a different way, and to reach the area, people travel by foot, boat, dog team, horse, or rail. And when planes arrived in Alaska, they became a natural fit with the remote Alaska bush lifestyle. In 1948, Don Sheldon and Cliff Hudson started air taxi business. That's the father or yeah, the father of Sheldon aircraft that we used the other day. Ole Dahl cabin number 1. Obviously from Norway. He arrived in the early 1900s to find work as a railroad surveyor. He built the small one-room cabin in 1916, and one of the last from that era still standing. They used whatever material they can find between the logs to keep out the cold. Moss, worn clothing, anything they could find. Roofs were generally made of birch bark. You can't go in, but you could look inside through the window with lots and lots of glare. How do you like that, Privy? Almost 100 years old. I was told that a rack weighs something about around 60 pounds. There are still a few of these remaining cabins on stilts throughout Alaska. People would store their food up there to keep them away from critters, particularly bears. You don't want to lure any bears. You can see we had a lot of rain last week. I have since learned that this is indeed fireweed, and the Native Americans would use the fluff for weaving and mattresses, cushions, just everything.